Hey guys, welcome to part 38 of Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver. In the last part we were like, where the heck is Misty? And I was like, I don't know. But we fixed the power plant and that was pretty cool, I guess. And now we're actually going to find Misty. I mean, it's been a long time coming. She's just been doing whatever she's been doing. But it turns out that the fat guy near the gym is all like, she's by the cape. But, I mean, remember how I said how the cape was that small area and that we'll have to go back there? Well, this is the reason why, but I don't know why they said the cape. I'm guessing, I did geography in GCSE, I'm guessing this is what they mean by the cape. But the really disturbing thing about this all is that Misty is trying to get laid. And that's fine, I guess. I mean, she was naked with a Staryu that one time, so we don't know what was going on there. But yeah, so that's Misty. And when I first saw Misty and her sprite in this game, I was like, oh, that's not Misty. I don't think that's Misty. I don't see it. I don't think that is Misty. But really it is. And for some reason, I know that Misty's original design wasn't the same in the anime as it was in the original games. Originally she was meant to be wearing not a lot and was meant to be some, you know, hot ginger girl. And I mean, that's just Japanese for you, I guess, because I guess they find gingers hot because they don't have them, I guess. But I mean, I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore. But yeah, so I saw that sprite of Misty and it's really strange. It seems like they tried to create their own version of Misty as a sprite, but they so didn't want it to be like the anime that they just made this really weird one where she had a stupid haircut. She was horny all the time because she was trying to get laid. I think in Leaf Green there was something like this, but yeah, it's just really weird. But anyway, I'm just excited because we're actually doing the gym, and as you can see, I wasn't a lying dirty boy. There is actually trainers in here now. God, why did I have to say lying dirty boy? What's wrong with me? I don't know. Well, anyway, we're taking on the actual trainers in this place, and I'm completely sick of this gym. I just want to get it over with at this point, but we still got to take on some swimmers, and I mean, that's all well and good, you know, So at this point I'm using the fluff because I thought, well, the fluff is still a low level, and I just wanted to get through the trainers, if I'm being quite honest. The fluff is still quite a low level. I wanted to get through the trainers, that's all well and good, and that's fine. So I just kept using the fluff and kept using discharge. Although one thing that got pointed out to me, I record these in advance, so there's a massive delay between you guys out there leaving comments and me reading them. And recently a comment I read, because I record about 3 weeks in advance with these videos. I really shouldn't do that. I'm destroying the whole point of Let's Playing by not having the comments be a big part of my videos, but that's not the point. Anyway, Scott Jam 20, I read one of his comments and he made a very good point that I should have taught the fluff Signal Beam. And I'm going to quickly talk about it now because Signal Beam is a bug type move and it's really powerful. It's a special attack, and I was moaning about how I didn't have a good bug type move because bug type is super effective against Psychic and Dark, and it's a really good attack to have. And then I get given Signal Beam, I'm like, nah. I didn't accept it for some reason. It was kind of a bit strange. So yeah, because the fluff is a really good Pokemon, but I mean, I should have taught it Signal Beam. I mean, the main problem is that I could have got rid of Strength, but for some reason the HMs don't allow it. See, yeah, look at that. She wasn't even Ginger in that one, and now she's Ginger in this one. It's just, I don't know, Misty has such a weird design that it really does look like they were trying to go out of the way. They went out of their way not to be like the anime, which is all well and good. If they want to separate themselves from the anime, that's fine. I mean, they already have because they're the games. The anime comes afterwards, but I don't know. It's just Misty has a really odd design that doesn't look like Misty at all to me. So I don't know. Well, anyway, it's time for Misty's battle. Finally, after a good few parts, or a good few, not really an hour, I guess. I guess it took less than an hour to do this fight, but I mean, after a good few tens of minutes, I'm outraged. But yeah, so this is a water type gym, so obviously I'm using the Fluff. I mean, I don't really have to explain that one, that's pretty obvious. The Fluff is a really strong electric type, it has a really strong electric type move, which is Discharge, so naturally I'm going to use the Fluff. Now, she had Golduck, which obviously I could kill. I could have killed Golduck with Mr. Sublime, because it's part Psychic type. Although actually I think someone else commented saying that Golduck isn't a Psychic type, it just knows Psychic moves. Although that was on my Pokemon Pearl Let's Play. See, really, I should be more interactive with you guys. I should like take into comments more consistently than I should, and actually listen to you guys a bit more, because you know, you guys in the comments know a lot more about Pokemon and all this than I do, so I should listen to you guys more, but I don't know. Well, either way, what happened is that Quagsire evolves from Wooper, and Quagsire is a second generation Pokemon, so that's bananas straight away. And it is part ground type. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the whole unique thing about Quagsire is part ground type. So that means if I had a grass type, then it would be 4 times effective. But of course I don't, so instead the Fluff doesn't do any damage to it, so I had to just use a really powerful Pokemon. So in this case I thought Mr. Sublime would be a really good choice to take out Quagsire, because, I mean, Mr. Sublime is badass, he's a pretty cool guy, he has the attacks and he has the special attack to back them up, so... what happened is that Misty was sort of like, oh Ash, that's my bike, and switched out Starmie, so I was actually pretty happy with this choice, because Starmie is part Psychic type, it's water and Psychic type, I know that for sure, I might know that, I don't know. So I was like, well, Mr. Sublime is out, but Mr. Sublime knows Shadow Ball, so I can just use Shadow Ball against this Starmie. Because my ultimate plan against the Starmie was to use Mr. Sublime and use Shadow Ball. Because also Mr. Sublime, Starmie has a lot of special attacks, with it being water type and Psychic type, so I thought, well, I can just use Light Screen to block its attacks, and then I can just use Ghost Ball to take it down. Or Shadow Ball. But I didn't realise that it was going to just use Confuse Ray, like most of the gyms have. Confuse Ray is such a cheap move to give to a gym leader. Such a cheap move. So yeah, so I keep using Shadow Ball here, but of course I just kind of got a bit unlucky with the whole Confuse Ray thing. And see, yeah, Ice Beam, it knows Ice Beam, but of course Mr. Sublime's high special defense and the Light Screen being up, it was never going to take me out. So now that Mr. Sublime luckily snapped out of Confusion, I was able to take it down with another Shadow Ball. So there we go. It was actually pretty easy, that kind of the whole section. I wasn't really that worried. And Baton Pass is some pointless attack about switching your Pokemon out. Well, I mean, I don't even know why you would bother. I think it's another competitive move to do, so yeah, as tradition, whenever an AI switches out a Pokemon, they always switch in the Pokemon they originally had. So I thought, well, there was no point switching to any other Pokemon, because my whole point was that I was going to keep in Mr. Sublime to take out Quagsire. Unfortunately for me, it knew Earthquake, which I didn't know. I mean, I should have known, I guess, but I didn't know it knew Earthquake, so even though, because Mr. Sublime is really quick, it managed to get in the first hit and hit it with Psychic, it then hit me with Earthquake, and because it's a physical move, yada yada yada. Because Quagsire knows Earthquake, I thought my best chances against this thing was to send in Hawkins, because Hawkins is a flying type, so Earthquake won't affect it. So even if it was going to take a while, I thought that this Quagsire wouldn't do that much damage to me, because its most powerful attack was Earthquake. So I hit it first with a wing attack. I got lucky with the critical hit. Then I thought I'll play it safe and hit it with Feather Dance. Although I knew secretly that Feather Dance wouldn't really do that much, because of course its most powerful physical attack was Earthquake. So, I mean, all I was doing was pretty much lowering Earthquake's effectiveness, which I've already done by sending out a flying type. So really I should have just used Fly there. It used Amnesia, which increases its special attack, or a special defense, which I guess really didn't matter at all. I did something really weird. I don't know why I used Fly, but I thought I would just risk it and use Fly. And the reason why it's weird that I use Fly is because if you're confused, you just hit yourself and the whole move is messed up, it doesn't work. So I got really lucky both times. I managed to fly and I managed to hit it afterwards, when really the chances were it was 25% chance that I was actually going to just hit myself. See, I do maths, so I figured out the maths. It's not that hard, it's just a half times a half, and you get 1/4. But that's not the point. The point is that I managed to take it out because Quagsire couldn't really do that much to Hawkins, and Hawkins just has high attack in general, so I was pretty much fine there. So Misty's final Pokemon is Lapras, and this Pokemon, Jesus H Christ, did this Pokemon give me a lot of trouble. You're probably looking at your timer on YouTube right now and thinking like, what, 17 minutes 11? How does this work out? Well, pretty much because the rest of this part is this battle, and this Lapras gave me more trouble than it should have done. And I'll be honest, it was all my fault, because pretty much it came down to my arrogance that this Lapras took longer than it should have done. Because I had the Fluff, which is electric and a really powerful electric type, and Lapras is water type, so of course Discharge was going to be super effective. And I got really arrogant here. Instead of just healing the Fluff, I made it use Discharge, so the Fluff died. And now what I should have done is just use the revive that I have to bring back the Fluff. But again, I was feeling cocky. Lapras had next to no health, it was paralyzed, so I thought I'll send out this one and use Quick Attack. But of course Misty has a full restore. Now I had a look back in the footage. Misty uses 3, not 1, not 2, but 3. You add 1 and 2, you get 3 full restores in this battle, which I think, for one, is just completely taking the piss. I mean, 2 healing items is what you would expect, right? But she uses 3. I think she's already used 2, and we're going to see another one up against this Lapras, because this Lapras is as strong as it is. It's just a strong water type. It knows Ice Beam, it's just pretty powerful. So I was like, I could just take it out with the Fluff, but of course I got cocky and the Fluff died, and instead of just healing the Fluff, I decided to try and actually, you know, take this thing on without hitting the Fluff, try and take it head on. So my plan was that the Hawkins died, or Hawkins, I shouldn't really call it the Hawkins, I guess. So I sent out York, because York wasn't going to be effective against this thing because it's water type and York is fire type, and just hit it with some smoke screens. But, I mean, ultimately, the smoke screens I use don't help me out at all. So even though I hit it with 2 smoke screens and Sing's accuracy isn't 100, it still puts York to sleep. And then York doesn't wake up, even though Lapras did more than half damage to it with Water Pulse. So the York is pretty much... York should have woken up, okay? York should have woken up. I don't know the specific rules about sleep. I think sleep, you can't wake up after the first turn. But York should have woken up, and that's how I felt like when I was playing this anyway. That York should have, you know, manned up, been the bigger Typhlosion and all that. So yeah, so York hit it with 2 smoke screens. But even though it hit it with 2 smoke screens, Lapras gets another Singing, which is completely outrageous. I mean, there's no way that this Sing should have hit. The chance of this Sing hit it would have probably been 50% or so, so that's just crazy. Because I sent out Mega Dude because it's water type and pretty defensive, so I knew that Lapras wasn't going to do anything to me. Lapras couldn't really do that much to me. Ice Beam wasn't going to do much, Body Slam wasn't going to do much. I knew I'd be okay. So that's why I went with Mega Dude, but of course Mega Dude fell asleep and just wouldn't wake up. And the fact that Lapras got in, look how many Body Slams Lapras got in. It didn't miss a single one, even though Body Slam I think is 85% accuracy, and it's been hit by 2 smoke screens. So at this point I was like, right, well this is taking the piss. This is just, I'm being really unlucky here. Ultimately I'm always going to win here, but I just thought, it's just ridiculous. I should have already won. The Fluff should have technically brought it out. And then now at this point I think I should start using items just in case I don't, you know, I don't quite have that victory yet. Look at another Sing. Another Sing hits. It's missed, it's crazy. It hasn't missed a single attack against Mega Dude, despite the fact that it's used 2 attacks that don't have 100% accuracy, and it's been hit by 2 smoke screens. So you can just see how stupid this battle is, and how obviously I should have already won. So I kind of thought, well, I'm sick of this. It hit me with another body slam. Hit me with another one, even though it shouldn't have done. So I just thought, screw it, I can't waste any more time on this battle. So I just brought Mega Dude back to, you know, back to being alive or not sleeping. And luckily for me, I guess the AI got sick of using Sing all the time. But it hit me with this. Oh, I can't remember the attack, even though it was 2 seconds ago. A Water Pulse and Confused Mega Dude. So this is one of those battles. It's not the longest gym battle I've done in this LP, but it's incredibly long and dragged out just because I got unlucky with so many decisions. Mega Dude got paralysed, for God's sake. It's now confused and paralysed, and it got put to sleep twice. So the fact that I've used Smokescreen already twice, I just got really unlucky here. It's not really a case of... I mean, I'll admit there are some times where I didn't do that well in a gym battle because I suck, because I made some poor decisions. But this one, I made one poor decision, which was not heal the Fluff when the Fluff was up against this Lapras. And then I got completely screwed over by the accuracy and all that. I got completely screwed over. I should have already won at this point. I'm not trying to make excuses here. You know me, if you've watched many of my Let's Plays, I don't make excuses. I say, by golly, I am not the expert that I thought I was. And this was a case of that I was always going to win, just Lapras was kind of annoying, and Misty had 3 full restores. Not 1, not 2, but 3 full restores. So I managed to do it, and it was actually pretty satisfying. This is kind of the end of this quest, or this kind of section of Kanto that you have to do. And it's nice to actually take her on with a dumb haircut that's not right. But I mean, Misty doesn't have that long hair, it's kind of crazy. And unfortunately, you have to surf your way out of the gym, and it's the last time I ever have to do it. So, I mean, I'm just really happy that I don't have to do all that surfing again. So, next time in Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver, we will continue to explore Kanto and find whatever our next gym badge is. So, I've been OnStorm23, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.